It's Friday, the 23rd of November. Thank you very much for joining us as we whip around Thailand, checking some of the main news stories. Now, being Friday, our live program is tomorrow morning between 9 and 10. I don't have any special guest at the moment. Don't even know what I'm going to be talking about. But we will be talking about something. By the way, Max, who we had last week, he's had more than 250 emails about questions about insurance and stuff. So good for Max. Hopefully he can help some of the people that sent him an email. It may take him a few weeks to get through all those emails. Now, just very quickly, we do have some very sad news to report. At the end of the program, however, we've got some good information that may be useful to some of you, and there'll be links in the description for that information. But we start with the fifth victim of this methanol incident up in Laos. The Straits Times reporting a British woman dies in suspected methanol poisoning in Laos, taking the toll to 5. And a British woman who fell ill after drinking contaminated alcohol in Laos has died, the fifth foreign national now suspected to have died in the incident. She was 28-year-old Simone White, a lawyer from southeast London. She was among the tourists who died after consuming drinks laced with methanol, a toxic alcohol. 4 other tourists, an Australian, 2 Danes and an American, have died in the incident in Bang Vieng. Counterfeits of well-known alcohol brands and homemade spirits are a problem in Laos, with the government of Australia and Britain warning citizens to be cautious when taking drinks there. The story originally reported in Reuters, another Australian girl fighting for her life in Udon Thani, still in critical condition, and others in hospital, as we'll find out. But another story in Straits Times gives us a bit more perspective. 5 tourists die from drinking tainted alcohol in Laos. What is methanol poisoning? It's a toxic alcohol used in industrial and household products like antifreeze, photocopier fluids, de-icers, paint thinner, varnish and windshield wiper fluid. Would have thought not the sort of stuff you'd want to be consuming. Colourless, flammable, and with a similar smell, it can be easily confused with its molecular cousin, ethanol, which is usually found in alcoholic drinks, and drinking just 25 to 90 millilitres of it can be lethal. And accidental poisonings may occur after drinking cheaply made home brew or contaminated alcohol, but methanol is often deliberately added to alcoholic beverages as a cheaper alternative to ethanol. And the story from Straits Times also continues. On their travel advice websites for Laos, the United Kingdom and Australia authorities warn their citizens to be aware of methanol poisoning while consuming alcohol in Laos. The article finishes by saying alcohol consumption is increasing across Asia and the world, with Laos, Cambodia and Vietnam seeing increases of 40 to 90% between 2010 and 2017. This is according to a study in The Lancet. So, apart from killing off tourism in Bang Vieng specifically, Laos generally, just a general warning there about being extra careful when you are drinking alcohol or perhaps even taking other drugs whilst you are in some Southeast Asian countries. And a bit more bad news as we go to a Consulates English story. And it reports about the American and Australian tourists who died, raising the toll to 4. We earlier reported that it's now 5. But this paragraph: New Zealand's Foreign Ministry said yesterday that one of its citizens was also unwell in Laos and could be a victim of methanol poisoning. So still more to go in that story, I'm afraid, and I'm still unsure as to why the consulates are so wary. Given that a lot of these incidents happened a couple of Tuesdays ago, there may have been people drinking on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The contents of this story really didn't get out until a week later, and they were only ferreted out by the local media after they saw a whole lot of warnings on social media from people who thought they'd been poisoned. So there could have been a whole lot of extra people who were harmed because the consulates just didn't want to give out the information about their citizens in hospital. I think that's a problem. And to another story that just keeps on giving, we go to the Bangkok Post. The headline, Icon Probe turns sights on politician S. Who is politician S? We'll get to that in just a moment. But some 20 people already in jail, and the investigation continues into this big pyramid scheme and its collapse. The Department of Special Investigation has tied financial transactions by executives of the scandal hit The Icon Group to the mother of a politician with a total value of 100 million baht. DSI spokesman said on Wednesday that the CIB had uncovered about 10 million baht in transactions from the mother of a politician whose name begins with S. She was a government official at one point, and the transactions took place from 2021 to 2024. The transfers from the politician's mother to Mr. S were worth about 100 million baht, even though the mother did not work and was elderly. So in response, a politician whose name happens to start with S said that it was all about giving merit. It's very unusual for an elderly mother to be making merit of 100 million baht to her son. It takes us to this story. Palang Pracharat asked to fire deputy spokesman over alleged Icon involvement. Now, the story goes back about a month, and it says activist lawyer Sitra, we'll get back to him in a moment, urged the opposition Palang Pracharat party to dismiss Samat Jenchai Chiwanik, deputy party spokesman, accusing him of alleged involvement with the Icon Group. And Samat is widely suspected to be the man heard in an audio clip demanding 100,000 baht monthly payoff from Icon Group in exchange for protecting the company from official scrutiny. But then the lawyer has had his own problems. Just about a week ago, this story in the Bangkok Post, celebrity lawyer and wife remanded in custody. And celebrity lawyer Sitra Biabumkurd and his wife have been remanded in custody on fraud and money laundering charges. The 44-year-old and his 41-year-old wife were stopped by CIB officers while they were travelling in their Porsche Cayenne heading away from Bangkok. This is last Thursday morning. So I'm having to get a much larger sheet of paper and a lot more coloured pens to try and draw a map figuring this one out. It's probably going to take a few more months to figure out which MPs, lawyers, celebrities have been involved in this whole Icon Group scam. But the story just gets bigger and bigger. Bit of good news though in the Bangkok Post today about the Thai economy. Thai economy to grow 2.7%, beat forecast. According to Paetongtarn, the Prime Minister, Thailand's economy expected to grow 2.7% this year, helped by an anticipated annual rise of 28% in foreign visitors. And Southeast Asia's second largest economy will grow more than forecast next year, and the government will accelerate investment spending of more than 960 billion baht. The Prime Minister said the economy is in the recovery phase. In each quarter, we've done better than expected. Thailand's economy grew 3% in the July to September quarter, the fastest pace in 2 years and beating expectations. But officials and analysts expect increased challenges next year, including the fallout from trade wars. Now, if you add in Thailand's underground economy, which is estimated to be between 0.3 and 0.5% of GDP, Thailand's economy is not doing too bad at the moment. All right, now I promised you a few useful stories. Here's the first one. I'll put links to these stories in the description of this video. It's from the Department of Land Transport, how to get your first Thai driving licence. It talks about the things you'll need: a passport, a certificate of residence, the documents you'll require, a health certificate, a foreign driving licence will help. And there's also some studies you're going to have to do. There's more information about this, things like using vehicles and road safety, what to do if you have an accident, some emergency contact numbers to call. And then it talks about driving licenses for driving in Thailand if you're a foreigner, some guides to car rental and also motorcycle rental. So there's a lot of rubbish published in forums around Thailand about driving licenses. There are a lot of scams as well about fake driving licenses. If you are thinking of driving in Thailand or looking to get a license here, then I'd probably direct you to that link in the description. And another one, this is probably the best number you can remember if you are travelling to Thailand or even if you're an expat. Published on the tatnews.org webpage, Tourist Police Thailand, your first friend for safe and secure travels. And the Tourism Authority of Thailand, in partnership with the Tourist Police Bureau, is committed to ensuring tourist safety and assistance through the 24-hour Tourist Police hotline 1155. Now, if an emergency arises, call 1155 for immediate help from the Tourist Police, ready to assist in various languages. If you are in the unfortunate position of getting caught in some sort of incident, calling the tourist police is a good first step. Particularly if police are involved, Thai police, having a tourist police there to perhaps being able to interpret and also just to act as a go-between is a very good idea. So urge people to perhaps call the tourist police. And there's the number again, 1155, for things like overpriced taxis, unfair taxi fares and taxi scams under standard tourism. And also, of course, victims of scams. And even if you're caught in a traffic accident, usually good to have a tourist police representative there. So perhaps some good information. I'll put links to all that in the description of today's video. But we'll be back tomorrow with our live program, an hour. Questions, comments, topics that you want to bring up. It's your hour of power tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Thai time. In the meantime, thank you for watching today, and we'll see you tomorrow.